Hello everybody, here's a quick guide on what's important, in my opinion, for the 5.0 patch. To be frank, 5.0 is super huge and there's so many damn things to do compared to Carrot's patch, but worry not, let's dive into the big ones. First, we go through the goodies. This event calendar shows you all the stuff you can get within the 5.0 patch period. You can take a look at your own pace. The Newcomers Set Sail is a new event, and I got to say it's probably the most rewarding event that I've ever seen. I know it's designed for newbies in mind, but take a look at these rewards. 400 augment mats, 5,000 plus modules, gears with 3,200 crit. Yo, when I started out I had nothing of this sort. Nothing, okay? Only bees and honey. Then we have this Starfall Miracle event. Looking at all the items, the best should be this SSR box with the latest weapons updated. Yulan, Zeke, Huang are all available in this box. You just have to finish all the missions week by week. It's time gated, so you can do it at your own pace. Bear in mind, some of the events in the later weeks will need a team to do it, so best you make some friends along the way. The other two are the usual version delivery and challenger tasklist events, where you complete some missions to gain rewards. Again, some of the quests require co-op, so you'll need some team play if you're new and not able to solo these modes. Use the world chat, shout for help, and get them done. Clicking this Kailo survival guide button is the Lyncis patch related events. Logging in for X amount of days will get rewards, red nucleus, special vouchers, red nukes, and some avatar frames. Take a look at this. On day 15, you get this login gift with a SSR box. It's not written exactly what weapons are in the box, but they should be Linghan, Brevi, Yen Miao, and Plotty. Pick anyone you like or need, or the element that suits your team. Talking about SSR, there's another event where you can win some of them. Zeke, Yen Miao, Gnono, and Lin. It's the scratch card event where you meet some simple requirements and get scratch off chances. The missions are all pretty simple, but one thing I noticed, this event button does not have the red indicator, so please remember to check it because you have about 2 weeks to complete it. Some people need the red dots to remind them, otherwise they completely forget about it. Okay, I have to bring it back, just a bit. Remember this event I said is pretty damn generous? This is why. If you inspect it close enough, the equipments have given specific stats. For example, boots and gloves. Old players have spent most of their daily lives farming boots and gloves that give us the trifecta stats of crit, elemental attack, and attack. On top of that, you gotta hope your rolls go into crit and all the RNG boosts. These straight up give you 3,200 crit with element attack and attack. Straight up. Why I emphasize this is because if not for this event, any player that starts 5.0 will need to spend months, and I mean months, to get these rolls because stuff is time gated around here. Also, they give out basic gears with 900 element attack and 100 attack. This may not be good enough for veterans that have played for a very long time, but for newbies, it's absolutely huge. Not only because it's 1000 attack base, but also they are giving out these pieces for all elements: Frost, Volt, Fist, and Flame with these exact stats. Why is that important? Because we spend most of our time aiming for the highest roll in our main element. Example, if you're a Frost main, you would want most of your gear to roll Frost attack the highest. Now, new players can enjoy all their elements having an equally high attack base, without needing to grind for a couple of months. I think F2P players also benefit if they play all altered teams that rely on your highest attack to damage stuff. So good. I'd say it's really generous of them to give this out to new players. The icing on the cake is, they also give out Vera gear with some high stats. Back in the day when we started Vera, I took about almost 2 years to get a decent exoskeleton. Because the damn game didn't want to give me my Frost stats. Oh, and by the way, 400 augment boxes is simply too good. Some people that are trying to get that +3 Titan stat, here you go, 400, easy peasy. Don't even want to count how much that would cost you if you try to buy the mats from the cash shop. shake my damn head, let's move on. On to the adventure side. First and foremost, after you unlock Kailo, you can select the new bounties, but pay attention as you click on the button. You might click on the network instead because muscle memory. Instead, you have to scroll to the right to accept the new bounty. What kind of UX is this, man? Also, gentle reminder to do your dream machine, guys. Sometimes with all this new map and the new stuff, we forget that dream machines exist. Brought to you by Asperia and Vera. New players would have to do bounties according to your level. It's recommended you do the Vera bounties first and later on progressing to the network or Kailo depending on how far your progress is. Speaking of network, we are now able to assign our sims to roam the network and indoor zones. One thing I noticed was my 100% done exploration map was still able to receive some rewards from roaming. Supercomputing maths, baby! Evolution Vanguard. The latest boss added to Evo Vanguard is Sobek. For whales, it's pretty easy as long as you have all the 4 elements. Decent element comps. For our F2P Franks, you might want to do a DPS check on which stage you are able to progress to. This is the single player mode. You won't be able to call for carries here. Rewards wise, you'd mainly do this for the supercomputing maths and some other smaller rewards. This is new. 5.0 has given us a new PvE mode, the Multiverse Hunt. How does this mode work? Every week, you're given 4 free tickets. If you only want to do these modes for rewards, which you can then purchase items from the store, you just have to go back out, select a weapon, click on challenge and enter the instance. Once inside, you have 3 options. Track with Unilight, no tracking, and track with Revival Light. Revival Light is the free ticket, so use it and start the battle on the boss. Each time you use one Revival Light ticket, you gain 750 Smith Light currency. So that's about 3k coins each week from the free tickets. What do you do with this? It's recommended to buy the items with weekly limits. That small weekly indicator? Unless you have too many of these and you want to keep your coins for the next week. To each their own. For the whales that are interested in ranking, you are able to purchase up to 3 Unilight tickets. How do these work? If you look at the rankings chart, there's a bracket number next to the score. Those are how many Unilight tickets you have used. Unilight tickets add on top of the score you already possess. How do you make the most out of this? You can always choose your best 2 damage weapons and pair it with a lesser weapon of choice. For example, Void Piercer and Lyncis are the Frost powerhouse. You can choose Alice, and as long as Alice is on the team, you can challenge a decent score from the battle. Frontier Clash Evolution. FCE's latest boss is Ying Zhao. I've made a guide on how you can beat that boss, so check that out. Origin of War. We're in the new season, and for some ridiculous reason, this season's bosses have been watered down so much that 2k% can be done easily. Maybe they want us to focus more on 5.0. On the raid side, we have the latest traffic control raid with ground controller as the boss. This raid, in my opinion, is super easy compared to Asurada's raid. As long as you follow the mechanics, it's a very straightforward battle and clear. What I don't like is, damn, those titles look so bad. Clearance expert? Permit holder? Like what? Opening up the menu, there's a new cosmic system, or more like a power system if you ask me. This looks like the new endgame power creep where we need to use 0 clusters to boost various stats and damage effects. On the left side, you have all the damage and attack boosts for the 4 elements, and on the right, damage boosts for various instances. Bygone, Sequential, Raids, Origin of War, FCE and so on. How do you get 0 clusters to upgrade? There are 2 methods. First is the Multiverse Hunt, which I mentioned earlier. You use weekly tickets to exchange those chips from the store, and second, you can also purchase them from the cash shop or hot shop for 50 DC each with a limit of 50 per week. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm a whale. I buy this out every week, right? Right?
Damn right you are.
Last on my list, the new Simulacrum Lyncis is here. For new players that are wondering what element to choose, Lyncis is a main frost DPS unit that is easy to use and pretty good for exploration as you level up and progress throughout the story. If you're interested in her, you can check out my informative Lyncis guide in another video. With all those materials and goodies given out, I'd say you can establish a decent team to challenge the content while making new friends and moving up the ranks in-game. With that, you can now begin your journey towards Kailo. Get them items, do some pulls, create your own journey, and I'll see ya in the next one.